Why do you need to be first? Why do you need to win every single time? The ego is the voice inside you that needs to be more successful, more recognized, more capable than everyone around it. It doesn't just want to win, it needs to. Because somewhere inside, it believes that winning is what makes it worth something. You set a goal, you want to be the best at it. And the moment someone else does better than you, faster than you, further than you, something inside you tightens. That tightness, that's the ego, feeling threatened. But ask yourself, why does someone else's success feel like your loss? It feels that way because the ego measures itself through comparison. It doesn't know who it is on its own. It only knows who it is next to someone else. Better than them or worse than them. First or not first. That's the only language the ego speaks. And here's something worth asking. Why is competitiveness pushed so hard in the first place? Because those at the top know something simple. Only one person can be first. That means only one person gets that feeling of being on top at any given moment. And the great illusion is that the person who wins hasn't actually accomplished something profound. All they've done is let their ego take over. And the ones who designed this game, they love that. Because we are easiest to control when we are inside our ego. The moment you start caring about which place you're in, you've already bought into the illusion that some people are more worthy than others. The ego loves that. It keeps you playing by their rules, competing, comparing, consuming, chasing more, while you are already whole and complete before the race even started. There's nothing wrong with growth, but real growth is growing toward what you actually want, not what you've been told you should want. So ask yourself, why are you playing by their rules at all? This game was designed by the greatest programmer of all, God. And in his version, everyone is the main character. Everyone has a path, a purpose, a story that matters completely. So why would you choose to be an NPC in someone else's game, when you are always meant to be the MC of your own? So you chase being first, you chase winning, and for a moment, when you do win, you feel relief. Not joy, relief, because the threat is gone, for now. But it always comes back. There's always someone else, some next competition, some next comparison. The ego is never satisfied for long, because it was never trying to make you happy. It was trying to survive. And when you don't win, the suffering comes. Not because losing itself hurts, but because you believed your worth was tied to the result. You attached your peace to something completely outside of your control, the outcome. Now, this doesn't mean you stop competing. It doesn't mean you stop training, working, pushing yourself to be better. Wanting to improve is fine. Wanting to win is fine. The problem isn't in the wanting. It's in the needing. It's in believing that you cannot be okay unless you win. You can give your full effort and still let go of how it turns out. You can play to win and still be at peace if you don't. Those two things are not opposites. In fact, real freedom is exactly there. in the space where you stop needing the outcome to be a certain way. God decides who wins, and He doesn't decide it the way the ego thinks. Because every person has a different path, a different lesson, a different purpose for being here. Winning might be exactly what one person needs right now, and losing might be exactly what another person needs, even more. Sometimes, when you lose, you actually win, because you lose a piece of your ego. You see something about yourself you couldn't see before. Something opens, something clicks. That moment of losing becomes the very thing that wakes you up a little more. Because, in truth, you don't lose anything. There is nothing to lose. You don't own anything here. Even the things you win, they were never really yours. They are part of the illusion, part of the experience. Winning, losing, they are just triggers. They spark emotions inside you. And those emotions, especially the strong ones, they are not random. They light up something, they point to a question you haven't asked yourself yet. A belief you didn't know you were holding. A deeper understanding waiting to be noticed. That's what they're really for. Not the trophy, not the rank. The emotion itself, that's the teacher. You can learn more from one moment of disappointment, fully felt and understood, than from 100 wins that came and went without you noticing anything at all. And you don't know how much the person who won had to give for it. Maybe they gave more than you ever did. Maybe they gave less and still won. And that's fine too, because everything still has a meaning. Luck, timing, chance, they are not separate from God. They are part of how He works. You don't always see the reason, but there is one. And maybe the person who won is missing something you already have. Something they want badly and don't have. You never know the full picture. You only see the part in front of you. The result, the ranking, the comparison. God sees all of it. Even winners learn this lesson eventually. Look at the most successful people, the ones who won again and again. Many of them, later in life, look back and realize none of it mattered as much as they thought it did. The trophies, the titles, the comparisons, they fade, and what's left is the same understanding you could have right now. They just got there after a lifetime of chasing it. Why wait that long? We are here for this understanding anyway. It doesn't have to come at the end. It can come now. Yes, you can always improve. You can always grow. That part doesn't stop. But growth was never the main point. The main point, the reason you are here at all, is to remember, to wake up, to realize who you actually are underneath all the winning and losing. That remembering, that's the real reason for being here. Everything else, even the competing, even the growing, it's just the path that leads you back to it. Let God reward you for your effort, in His own time, in His own way. Your job was never to win. Your job was only to show up fully and give what you have. So ask yourself, can you compete without needing to win? Can you give everything you have and still trust the outcome to God? It's your choice. Subscribe if this is for you. More is coming. Thank you for watching, traveler.